Hi, it's Jamie with Jamie's Arts a la Cartes. Thank you very much for joining me. I have a fun project planned for us today. I hope this video inspires you to create something of your own. If you would, hit the like button and share the video with your friends. That helps me to grow this channel and to continue to bring you new projects. If you haven't subscribed yet, would you please consider subscribing? And if you have, thank you very much. Well, we have a lot to do, so let's get to it. Hi, it's Jamie. Thank you so much for joining me today. Boy, do I have a project for us. So, my husband has been teaching my grandson how to play chess. So they call him Pops. So my grandson and Pops have just been really working on chess strategies and that sort of thing. Well, as we were cleaning out the barn, we found this old chess set that my husband had when he was growing up as a child. And it's been in the barn and it's seen better days. But my husband wants to share this really cool memory with our grandson. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a good cleaning. And then I'm going to paint the pieces. And we are going to change the color. It's going to become black and white. And that being because I think that my grandson will like that. And then we're going to mount it to this piece of tile that has been sort of setting on. But you can see that it's cracked. So I'm going to have to do some repairs. So we'll give it all a good cleaning. Let it set and dry really well. And then I will actually make the repairs, let that dry, and then we'll be able to work on painting it. All right. Shh, don't tell my grandson. This is going to be a birthday surprise. All right, let's see if we can actually make this happen for him. Okay, so I've got an old cloth, and I've got my toothbrush. We're going to take our pieces off to the side. And we're going to start with and I just got regular old soapy water. I do have this little yellow liquid that I get at the dollar store. To work with to see how we can get it clean, see if we're going to need, mineral spirits or one of those other chemicals that my husband has out in his barn. But we're going to start with just giving it a good old cleaning first. It's already been outside. We've already used the hose and like bleach on it. But you can see it's in pieces there. We've got some cracks. I'm going to end up taking this out. So we'll get some tools out. But let's go ahead and give it a good cleaning. So I'm going to wipe it down. And I'm just going to use some of this soapy water on one of my old cloths. Get it good and wet. And then I'm just going to clean it. So we'll let this dry overnight just so that all the little nooks and crannies can be, dry for us to work with. So what I did is I scrubbed it with this yellow stuff. There was some backing on the big pieces. The alcohol helped me get it. And then these little pieces I did use like a glass cleaner just for that ammonia component. So this is the main piece. This had a black felt piece glued to it that was just in real bad shape, so I just scraped it off. So it's just about ready just to lay here and dry. This is a little corner that we'll be repairing back on there. And then I'm going to mount everything to this large tile. It's not the prettiest tile that I've got, but I'm going to actually mount it to this side, and then we'll paint this side. So that'll be the underside. I'll probably put some felt feet on it and what have you. But there are pieces. All right, just let it dry, and then we'll be able to start putting this together. Probably will, I think I'll repair it, then paint it, then mount it. I'm gonna ask my husband what he thinks, but I think that's probably gonna be our best bet. All right, let's just let everything dry. I'm gonna get everything wiped down and spread out so that it can just air dry. All right, we've got everything clean and dry, and we're kind of at that hot mess stage right here. We're going to move this to the side because I'm going to actually paint it, but I want to get this glued together. And then I had these cool little clampy things, and I'm not sure. Yeah, they're not going to fit. So went out to my husband's man cave. He showed me how you can take these little guards off and make them longer, but that didn't even help. So we're going to have one, because we're going to clamp it into place and try to get it to hold still and glue right. So what I did is, it took some doing, but I got, this had like a old felt backing that was good in some places, but not in others. So we're going to glue this like this, and I'm going to use E6000. My husband suggested the E6000, and then I'm going to even put it along this edge. And then to help with these little cracks, we're going to put caulk in there, because I am going to paint it all. And we'll go from there. So we want this to, we're going to glue the two sides together. See, this is why I'm going to do the caulk, because it's not going to match perfectly. But if we could line that up, that would help it to look better. Okay, so we'll put the clamp on it. This way. All right, we'll let it dry. I'm going to move you down. I'm going to show you how we're just going to put some oil paint on this one tile and get it ready to be the base for this board. All right, I'm going to paint this tile on this separate table so that once my E6000 sets up on the other, I can go back to the other table and work. So I'm just extending out my work surface. So this is just a black oil. I actually have two different kinds, so I'm going to use this one. on the tile, and then I have another Rust-Oleum one that I'm going to use on the pieces. These both are going to be fine, but just in case this takes up a lot, I don't want to mix the paints. Probably would not be any kind of issue, but since I have to, I'm just going to, just a safeguard that I'm going to take. And this brush, I'm not going to try to save it. I will put it in a little plastic bag from a shopping trip. That way if I need to put another coat on it, I will. I'm not going to paint the other side because that'll be the side that we glue to the underside of our chessboard. But this will be the bottom, and I will create some little feet so that it doesn't scratch up furniture or anything. This will just clean it up and help pull the whole set. The set will be black and white, so this will just pull it all together as the bottom surface of the board itself. Good thing about oil paint is that I don't have to worry about brush marks because they tend to just sort of level out. Oil paint's good about that. I'm being pretty liberal with it because I really want to just do one coat and let it soak into this tile and just become attached to the surface really well. I'm kind of excited about this project. I hope I can pull off the idea I have in my head. I hope I can bring it to life for my grandson. Alright, making sure I get the edges really good because that'll be important. Looks good. Everything looks good. I'm just going to go all in one direction now. I probably will put a heat gun on it just to pop any air bubbles that I might have. Alright, we will let this dry and then I'll bring it back and we'll work on that next step. I'm going to put this just in a little shopping bag, and then if I don't need it, it'll be going in the trash. So that's just how I store them while I'm waiting to see if I need the other, if I need to use it again. Alright, waiting for paint to dry again. Alright, I decided I want to go ahead and get a coat, start the pieces while I'm waiting on the other things to dry. So we're waiting on glue to dry, E6000, and then the paint for the base. So I think I want to do like 3 sides and then lay it down. But you know what? It'll stand. So let's do this. Let's see what happens. got our black ones coated, and now we're going to go ahead and start on the white ones. Alright, black ones look really good, so let's hope these do as well. Make sure I don't get paint all over me. Okay. I'm going to actually move stuff, make this closer and easier. I'm trying to use up the end of this one paint can here. I don't want to go sparingly on this step. This is laying the foundation for everything else that we'll do to it. Stand up right there. This is the last one for white. We will let them set and dry. Black covered really well. We might get another coat on the white. We'll know when it dries all the way. But, well, there we go. Progress. All right, I'll come back to you when we can do the next step. All right, we've got all of our pieces drying. Our E6000 has set up, so now I'm just going to go and do some of the cosmetic stuff. Let's see, how do I want to do this? Let's put a little blob here. I don't think we're going to need a whole lot, but we've got that. And then little screwdriver. We'll be able to clean that off. So I'm going to just go in here and try to fill in these little gaps. So we've got our repairs made. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on my first coat. I think the black will cover it. I'm going to see what kind of shape my brush is in, if I need to go to a different brush. So let's figure that out. But everything green will become black. Something like that. Okay, let's start. All right, we've got our squares, our black squares painted, and I've been using this larger brush on the frame, the outside border. We'll let this dry all the way before we try to do the white, just so we don't muddy it all up. This will be easier. But I think it's going to look, I think it's going to turn out good. My husband and I like the look so far, so I think we're on the right track. Taking something old, making it new. And it's something that my grandson has enjoyed learning and he likes to play. So this will be a nice little thing to help him remember the time he has with his grandpa. All right, we'll let it dry, and then we'll see if we need to touch up anywhere. We'll come in and do the white, and then we'll see where we're at. All right, it's time to start painting our white pieces. So I stirred up my oil white, and I put it in a little bit of this little container, try to make it easier to use. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try not to mess up my black. So let's see how well we can do this. Worst case scenario, I can always go back and touch up the black. So the less I have to touch up, the faster I get it done. by using this oil paint, it almost feels like a thick rubbery kind of coating on it. Of course, we have to glue this piece to that base that we created. We painted at the very beginning, and then I'm going to put some felt on that piece so it doesn't scratch furniture or any of that kind of stuff. But we are just about there. One last thing I'll do before I put this brush up is just go back and see any light areas, especially back here where I started, and just make sure that it's good and covered. Well, there we are. I think we're gonna just let it set and dry good, and then we'll touch up this black, and then we'll be able to start gluing stuff together. How about that? Turned out pretty cool. All right, we're down to just little bitty tiny touches here, like that, where I dripped. I end up turning this board all the way around just to see all the different angles. All right. Well, there it is. Now it's time to just let it dry and cure, and then we'll glue it to the base, and then we'll just let it set and cure hard, and I think it's going to make a lovely birthday present. All right, I'll bring you back when we've got it all glued together. How fun. My husband thinks he's going to really like it. I sure hope he does. Well, there it is. It's all done. It's all cured. And it'll get wrapped in just a little bit. We think it came out really well, and we sure hope he gets a lot of fun use out of that. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, would you please consider subscribing? And well, until next time, happy crafting.